welcome to Curious, a channel where we cover conspiracy theories and other topics. In this episode, we'll be talking about the mysterious death of Stanley Meyer. Stanley Meyer was an American inventor born on August 14, 1940. Stanley made many patented inventions, some of which are baking, oceanography, and even cardiac monitoring. Stanley's patents were usually put into action 8 months later after his submission, which was very quick, as patents usually take more than a year to be applied. The Patent Office thought Meyer's technologies and applications were technologically advanced and ahead of its time. He was recognized by many national and international scientific boards and organizations. He won the awards Inventor of the Year in 1993 and received substantial support from other countries such as Canada, England, and Sweden. In 1975, during the Arab oil embargo, Saudi Arabia was cutting off its oil supply to the United States, and oil prices were drastically high. The U.S. was running out of oil, and many corporations became bankrupt or were losing lots of money as a result. The American automotive industry was under massive scrutiny, as due to oil being scarce and expensive, demand for new cars dropped to near zero. Something had to be done. Stanley Meyer then got to work developing a car that would revolutionize the entire auto industry and end the United States' major dependence on oil and fossil fuels. So, Meyer developed the hydrogen fuel cell car. He claimed with this device, cars would be powered by water instead of gasoline, which was abundant. The fuel cell worked by splitting the atoms of water into its most basic forms, 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom, thus the name H2O. The hydrogen was then burned to create energy, which will be delivered to the car's wheels. The oxygen, along with the remaining water, will be thrown away through the exhaust, which doesn't emit any harmful emissions for health and the environment. It was revolutionary. With that mechanism that applied to the mainstream auto industry, emissions from automobiles could be eliminated, and the threat of global warming could potentially be reduced thanks to hydrogen-powered cars, which meant only water and oxygen. It could also end the U.S.'s dependence on oil, or even end global dependence on fossil fuels in general, as we were slowly running out of it. It was the ultimate alternative fuel, and the best part is, it's abundant and it can be found anywhere. But on one fateful day, on March 21st, 1998, Stanley Meyer was mysteriously murdered, or killed, or died. While in a restaurant along with his brother, Stephen Meyer, along with 2 Belgian investors, Stanley was murdered by poisoning. Stanley Meyer remembered the events of what happened on that fateful evening. Stephen Meyer, quote, "Stanley took a sip of cranberry juice. Then he grabbed his neck, bolted out the door, dropped to his knees, and vomited violently. I ran outside and asked him, 'What's wrong?' Stephen recalled. He said, they poisoned me. That was his dying declaration. Today, I will be discussing with a friend if Stanley Myers was murdered or not. Will, and we're going to talk about if Stanley Meyer was murdered or not. So, Will, what are your views on this?
I personally think, with my knowledge of the Stanley Meyer case, I believe that he was poisoned.
He was poisoned, yeah.
I think it's odd. I don't think if you're in the middle of having a heart attack, you just come out of the building you're currently eating at and just be like, I've been. I think that would be a little weird.
Yeah. That'd be a little weird.
That'd be just a tiny bit weird.
It'd be a little suspicious. If
just a little bit.
Just a dude went, I've been poisoned, and then he just dies, you know.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's been some people who don't believe that he was murdered for some reasons. His I don't know what it's called when people die and they like search his body and stuff after it. I think it's called like I don't know. But they said he had a brain aneurysm. instead of a.
Oh,
And they
really?
didn't find any traces of poison in his body or whatever.
Huh.
They said he had a brain aneurysm. So people are saying, oh, because he had a brain aneurysm, he said those things or whatever.
I don't know. It could have been brain poison, to be honest.
Yeah, he could have been
Um,
brain poisoned. Yeah, yeah.
but I didn't know that. That is interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then
I
people are saying he could have been murdered because his invention didn't work, or it couldn't have. Like it
oh,
was impossible.
it was impossible for the water car to work.
Yes.
Here. The only thing I'm a little skeptical about it is that if we had a water car invented, well, whenever his death was like 1998, then
Mm-hmm.
why don't we already have a working car now? So I could 100% see like it not working,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, because I
Because
feel like we would have already had it.
yeah, here it is. It says oh, let's see here. You said Meyer claimed that the process required a fraction of the energy it would normally take to bring down water into hydrogen and oxygen, which is how like it worked and stuff.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
scientists are like that defies the first and second law of thermodynamics in order to work.
Huh.
Um,
Hmm.
and it says energy cannot be created and destroyed, and when energy is transformed from one form to another, its final state cannot be greater than its initial state. Which is what Meyer like that's what he was like saying. That's what he was saying how it worked and stuff. So
Hmm.
and
Huh.
then there
Yeah.
was a police
That's.
investigation, and the police never found any foul play ever discovered. But yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, they said Meyer had a high blood pressure and died of a brain aneurysm.
Oh wow.
And
Huh.
the only drugs they found in him were seizure medications. So I guess he is a
Hmm.
little prone to seizures as well.
Yeah. Huh. I mean, I, hmm. I don't want to overstep my bounds,
You know, overstep your boundaries
but
here.
but I can kind of see him being a little crazy
Yeah, and it says symptoms of an
because
aneurysm includes vomiting as well
mhm,
and seizures.
yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. If Caesars are caused, I don't think he had one when he was like dying, but you know,
Mm-hmm.
did definitely there's something going on. You
Yeah, and
don't
then
just
some
drop dead
people,
like that.
some of those really big tinfoil hat people are saying he was killed by the Pentagon.
Pentagon.
The
What would they
Pentagon.
gain?
Nothing.
It's not like all of America. We get all of our money from oil. That's it. This guy was trying to take down America. Amen, brothers.
Amen, brother.
No.
Yeah. No, yeah, and they
No.
even the
We get our
Pentagon.
monies from the printers. We
Yeah,
get our
what?
monies from the printers.
Yeah,
Come
and
on.
once things started coming out, even like the Pentagon was like, we don't even know anything about this man. Like, we don't know
Mhm.
him. We never collected any data on him.
Yeah. I think it was odd how he died, but I think it just boils down to he
Mm-hmm.
was
It's a
he
little
was paranoid that people were coming to get him. And that raised his blood pressure by a lot. And then
cost.
something like happened revolving around like his medicine or blah blah
Yeah,
blah yada yada. Something happened which caused him to go into like kind of to have a brain aneurysm, and he came out and he died.
yeah.
And because he was so caught up on the case of there's someone following him, maybe possibly like they're coming to get him,
Mm-hmm.
um that he was just so worked up that it caused his blood pressure to be that high,
Yeah.
which caused that.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It'd be very nice and fun to say that he was murdered, but
Yeah.
in my opinion, there's just more evidence, saying he wasn't.
Yeah. I think it's a very interesting case. So
Yeah.
it's a very fun one.
Yeah.
I
It's
like it a
very.
lot.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, my final verdict on the mystery of Stanley Meyers' death is that he did not get murdered.
Yeah.
He
I'd
just
say the
he just
same.
died of natural causes.
Yeah, I
Um,
really wanted to say he
which is
was
sad because
though,
I
because
know,
that would have
which is
been
sad
really
because I
cool.
wanted to say he was murdered. That would have been such a cool like case. That would have been like
Yeah, that would have
the
been
coolest
really
case
cool.
ever.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Now I'm thinking of it, dude. This would have been a really cool case if he actually was like it
It
actually worked
would have been
and
even cooler if it worked. If it
yeah, if it
actually worked
worked.
and it got like stolen, like the you know the urban legend goes. That would have been
Yeah.
crazy. That would have been nuts.
That
But
would have been yeah, that would have been nuts, dude.